In this video, I'll be taking you on a photo shoot. Let's go. Hey guys, Roy here from Cruz Photo, and I'd like to welcome you to my first video of 2019. And as you can see, we're in a small space here. This is a little corner of my house, which I have turned into a little makeshift studio. There's still clutter around me, but I hope it's neat enough for the purposes of this video. Now, in front of me here is a lot of gear, and I am actually packing for a photo shoot that hopefully, if everything goes well, will happen tomorrow. All right, it involves getting on a boat, getting on a ferry. So as these things go, you know, sometimes there are logistical issues, but hopefully everything goes well, and I'll be taking you along for that part of the shoot as well. Now, this particular photo shoot is a personal project that I've been doing for the past couple of years. It's called the Everyday Musicians Project, or also known as the Tongyong Musicians Project. So far, all of the portrait subjects have been in the town of Tongyong, which is where I live, and I will get into more details about the project in a bit. But first, I'd like to talk about why personal projects are so important for photographers. Personal projects are important because, number one, it lets you shoot something that you are interested in, you know, genuinely interested in, and is close to your heart. Okay, so it can be a very personal thing to you, and it represents you as a person, represents you as a photographer as well. Number two, there are no clients, no editors, no other directors, art directors, or anybody else to worry about except for yourself. This is your project, yours and yours alone, and you can really push the envelope, you can really experiment, and you don't have to answer to anybody except for yourself. Number three, personal work helps you to build a body of work that represents your vision and represents your aesthetic. All right, it's cool to go shoot random things, you know, random places, random people, one by one, but it's also really good to bring a body of work together around a certain theme, around a certain story, around a certain idea. Number four, personal projects give you a lot of practice, all right, and a lot of motivation. You learn so much about the entire process, from planning to organizing to shooting to editing and all of that. So it really helps you grow as a photographer overall. So this particular project of mine is called the Everyday Musicians Project, aka the Tongyong Musicians Project. These are environmental portraits. They're wide, and they showcase both the musician and the location. So you can say that they're a combination of landscape photography and portrait photography. There's also a second supporting shot that shows the musician at their place of work. This may be music related, you know, like music teachers or music academy owners or studio owners, but some of them are, you know, they do a totally different thing, and they do music. They do the music to, you know, as a pastime, as a hobby. So this is meant to showcase musicians from all walks of life. Basically, I chose to do this project because I myself am a musician, and I have a lot of friends here in town that are musicians. So it's, you know, already my network of subjects was already there, was already in place. And also Tongyong has a lot of beautiful places to shoot, a lot of beautiful locations. So I combined the portrait aspect of it with the location, the landscape aspect. So the project was born. Now, this also shows that you don't have to look too far to come up with a personal project. This, you know, a lot of these subjects, a lot of the people I've been photographing are my friends. So, you know, it makes it a whole lot easier, and I don't have to go far. It's all in my hometown. So, if you're trying to brainstorm a personal project for yourself, you don't have to look too far. Just see what you're interested in and start close to home. So the look or the aesthetic for this particular project involves one lens and one light. All right, this is the XF 16-55 f2.8 zoom from Fuji, and I use only the AD200 from Godox, and various modifiers with this particular light, depending on the conditions. If it's windy, I'll go with a smaller modifier. If I want a big light source, a softer light source for maybe a female subject, I'd go with a larger softbox or a larger umbrella. But overall, everything has been shot with one lens and one light. Various bodies, as you know, it's been a couple of years, so I started with the XT1 and I've moved on to the XT2, XH1, but still the same, it still has the same Fuji look and the same film simulations, and I process them all in the same way. But the most important thing is the single lens that I use for all the shots, and also the one light. It keeps things consistent. For the occupational shot, the second supporting shot where they're in their workplace, I chose to make those black and white photos, because I wanted to make it clear that they are supporting shots. Color shots for the main musician portraits, with their musical persona, vibrant and colorful. But the occupational shot is black and white to serve as a supporting image for the main portrait. So that's why I chose a combination of color and black and white. Anyways, so let's go through the gear. The camera that I'll be shooting with tomorrow is the Fuji XH1. I love the IBIS in this body. Won't be needing that IBIS for this particular shoot really, but it's a good size and weight to match the 16 to 55. So that's the camera. And the light, I already mentioned it before, the AD200 by Godox, and of course the remote control. This is the X1T remote, and I love the Godox system because they have full support for high-speed sync, which I do need sometimes outdoors when I'm trying to balance the ambient light with the flash. Now, in terms of, well, here's another lens. I'm also bringing the 56 f1.2. This is more for the subject. Everybody likes, nice blurred backgrounds. So as a gift to the subjects, I also give them like a standard portrait, and that's what I do with the 56 1.2. But the main shots that'll be shown in the project are all 16 to 55. Now, in terms of modifiers, we've got the Photix double fold white umbrella. It's a shoot through that allows me to get really as close as possible to the subject to get the light nice and soft. And we also have the Mag Sphere by Magmod. Now this is used for when conditions are windy. Fortunately, I haven't had to use this yet, but I keep it in the bag just in case the umbrella won't work because of wind conditions. This will be less soft than the umbrella, but it should also help to give that lighting, pop to the subject. But I would prefer using the softer light. And they are supported by the Manfrotto 5001B. This is a foldable light stand. Folds down really compact, nice and sturdy as well. And the adapter that came with the AD200 as well. I'm also bringing a tripod. Now the tripod, I won't use it most of the time, but just in case I need to get that light in really close and then clone it out in post-processing later on, clone it out in post, the tripod will help for that. Okay, and then I've got this thing right here. This is the f-stop medium accessory pouch, medium size. Inside we have batteries, we've got cables, chargers, extra propellers for the drone, which I hopefully will not use, will not need to use, ND filters, just stuff that I might need, and it keeps it nice and organized in this little pouch here. And then of course I've got the DJI Mavic Pro. this is more for the purposes of the video. I might not even use it because I really want to focus on the portraits, but since I'm going to a nice island, I might as well have the drone for some good B-roll. And of course we've got the remote control and we've got the extra battery. So that's pretty much it. In terms of what I really need for the shoot, it's just the light and the body and the light and the camera and the stand and the modifier. That's pretty much it. I could actually just do the whole shoot with these items right here. But we're doing a video, so I brought along some extra stuff as well. Alright, so let's get packing. So I'm going to start packing this stuff. Now we have the, right here we have the f-stop gear ICU, the internal camera unit. The good thing about the f-stop gear is you can buy different sizes of ICUs. I also have a small one for when I really need to travel light. And I'm going to go ahead and put this here. There it is. It's nice and packed. So I'm going to close up the ICU. We're going to put that in the bag a bit. The bag that I've been using is the Loca UL from f-stop. I've really been enjoying this gear. The Loca UL, it's about 30 liters, I believe. I'll put a correction down below if it's not correct. I chose the Loca UL because, well, the UL means ultra light, and this is a super light bag. It weighs less than a kilogram, and that really helps when you're out, when you need to go hiking, you need to go out in the field. But there's a metal frame inside, which, you know, just makes the bag sturdy. Alright, so that is basically it. I am packed and ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and get some sleep, and I'll see you in the morning. Alright guys, it is the next day, and we are now on a ferry heading out to Yeondae-do. Now, Yeondae-do is a small island, still part of Tongyang, but you need to take a ferry for 15-20 minutes. It's not that long, but you know, it's always good to get out and see the islands, and I highly recommend that you do if you're ever in the area. So I think it's going to be a fun day. Yeondae-do is one of hundreds of islands in the waters off the Tongyang mainland. Originally a remote farming and fishing village, the island has gained popularity in recent years as a tourist destination thanks to the city's efforts to develop the area. Today we'll be visiting and photographing my friend and fellow musicians Hyung and her husband June, whose family owns a guest house and cafe on the island. Alright, welcome to Yeondae-do. And hi! Our subjects are already here. Hello! This is Hyung. Alright, hello. And this is June. Okay, and they have a pension here and a cafe, so that's what they do on the weekends. So we're going to be photographing them. They are both musicians. Hyung is an awesome singer. She's a famous trot singer in Korea. So we just had some breakfast. Thank you, June, for the wonderful toast and the coffee. Yes, and June is ready. Chulongdari, or Shaky Bridge, is a suspension bridge that connects Yeondae-do and the smaller island of Manjido. It was recently built to attract tourists, and word is more bridges like this are on the way to connect with the other islands in the area. I chose this location for June for the cool leading lines of the bridge and the beautiful seascape in the background. Alright, so we're setting up the lights right now. This is the light stand. We will be using the Photix umbrella. There's no wind, so it's perfect umbrella. Give us some nice soft light. Okay, and let's set up the Godox AD200. So we'll be using the Fuji X-H1, putting the trigger on. So what I basically like to do when I'm shooting these portraits is to underexpose the ambient light by about 1 stop or sometimes 2. Today we're going to go with maybe 1 stop. below, and then we're going to compensate with the flash, so to give June that nice pop. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's warm up. Just relax. Just play, man. Yeah, just play. So let's get June warmed up. Yeah, nice. Let's do a little higher angle here. Okay, June, could you do me a favor and maybe go back a little bit for me?
How much?
Just stop. Okay, right there. Just a little bit. Okay, that gives us more bridge in the shot. Okay, so he went back, so I need to increase the power of the AD200. Let's bring it a little closer too. Let's just get that. Okay. I like that, June. Look, yeah, look to the left. Look at the sea. Enjoy this, the ocean. All right, that looks cool. All right, so I'm gonna bring up the light a little bit to change the look. So, here we go. Let's bring it up. Cool, all right. So, let's just maybe stop playing, just look out there, that way. Yeah. Okay, look out. Chin up. Okay. Nice. Oh, yes. That's looking awesome, dude. I want to get, actually, let's stand up. Can you stand up? And then carry the djembe. No, there's a strap, right? Let's see. No, I like it like this. Yeah. Now look this way. Yeah. Okay, it's a little wide, so we need to move this guy back. Okay, look out. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Good. Look at me. Nice. Oh, Joa. Okay. They're coming, so let's take a break. Okay. Let's do a few more. Same. I like the leg up. Okay. And then, yeah, a little bit forward. That's better. Okay. No more ya hesu. Nice. Still shooting full power here. All right. Okay. Let's look again that way. Chokuman, back. Look at the mountain behind me. Okay. Give me a little smile. You can't be too serious. No more serious. Hajimaja. Okay, so we've got the main shot already. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm just gonna go with, another lens, just to shake it up a bit and give June a nice portrait. 56 f1.2. And this is the perfect time. Again, not many people around. Okay, let's bring this down. Okay, high speed sync, 1/2000. Yeah. Okay. All right, put your hands on the djembe. Nice. Chin down. Okay, that's good. Not so much. Chin up. Yeah. Smile, June. Put your feet up, like, kind of. Just for, yeah. Yeah. Nice. I like that. Yeah. Nice. Good job. You like that? How you feeling? All right, awesome. We're done?
Done.
Yeah, we're done. So cool. That was very fast. So we're gonna go shoot Hyung in a bit. Our next location was the Mongdol, or Pebble Beach, on the other side of the island. This beautiful cove features clear waters and beautiful rocky cliffs that serve as a perfect background for our portraits. All right, welcome to our second location. This is the Mongdol Beach, the rocky beach, not far from where the cafe and the pension are. Such a beautiful, beautiful area. So June is getting our umbrella ready. Hyung is sparkling, amazing. Yeah, there it is. This is gonna be great. So we are going to set up and get shooting. Okay, so we're doing a mic. She's a vocalist. I like to have the cable because the mic looks weird without a cable. All right, so 가까이. 네, 최대 가까이. 잠깐만요. 제가 볼게. 파워가 너무 약해. 8200 is too weak for this light. So we're gonna go with the mag sphere and get it really close, try to get it softer. We just need a little bit of directional light to make the face pop. So the high-speed sync is really working well here. Let's get the background. It's too underexposed. Okay. 자, 카메라 보세요. 카메라. Oh yeah.
우리 사진기는 찰칵 소리가 안 나네.
나와요. 근데 조용해요. Very quiet. 이제 1/8 power. 배준이 그대로. 네. 아, 찰칵하면 움직여져. 이거 조용하니까 안 들려요. 예, 오케이. 오케이, 이제 찰칵 제가 해드릴게요. 찰칵, 진짜요? 오케이, 자, 찰칵. 다리들이 얼리고 그냥 재밌게 찰칵. Alright. 네, 괜찮아요. Let's get it. 시작. 찰칵. 오, 좋아. 찰칵. 좋은데요? After Hyung's portraits, it was time for June's occupational shots at the cafe. I took a few quick photos and finished the portraits pretty quickly as June prepared drinks for the customers. I would have loved to finish Hyung's occupational shots as well, but I'll have to wait for the spring concert season to photograph her at work. Overall, it was a great day out on Yeondae-do. It is such a beautiful island and I'm lucky to have had such a great location to work with. More importantly, I got to spend some time hanging out with some wonderful people. Now it's time to head home and work on the photos on the computer. And welcome back to the studio. It has actually been a couple of days since the shoot. Had some work to do, and we're back. And when we are in front of the computer now, we're going to be doing some editing and some post-processing. So let's start with file management. So I always work from external drives and always have at least one backup. This is an SSD. This one, particular one is about 500 gigabytes. It doesn't have to be an SSD, it can be a hard disk, but SSDs are much faster, so I would definitely recommend one of these if you have the budget for it. Keep your files there, and also have at least one backup. So I've got the files here, and on another hard drive I've got the same exact files, just in case this one crashes. I will have my file still. And another thing is, never keep your photos on the computer that you're using, because if the computer hard drive or computer SSD crashes, then your photos will be gone. Okay, so let's move on to actually cataloging and managing the files. We are using Lightroom. Okay, I know it has its issues, but there's nothing like it in terms of an all-in-one solution. But this is the one I've been using for years, and I continue to use it. So when you do a personal project, or when you do something that is under a central theme, I prefer to have everything under one catalog. So here, this is a catalog just for the Everyday Musicians project. So here's the SSD on the left side here. And you can see the names of each of my subjects, sometimes 2 subjects in one day. They're all here on the left side, so you can access your photos from any time in the project, and you can get back to them, you can re-edit them, you can do pretty much whatever you want very easily if you have them all under one catalog. And also, if we go out to the Finder here, on the actual drive, I also keep them in one folder. So we have the Everyday Musicians. This is the most updated folder because I have a couple of backups somewhere else. But this is the most updated folder. And we've got the same thing you saw in Lightroom. All the names of the subjects here, and the dates, and the actual catalog also lives in the same folder. Okay, good thing about that is if you save the catalog file into the same folder where all the other files are living for the project, you can move the entire project with one click. So if you need to back it up, you need to put it onto another drive, you just need to move it. Everything that has to do with the project is inside one folder, so I definitely recommend that. And let's move on to culling. Okay, culling is an important part of the process because it allows you to narrow down the photos to the best of the best of the best. Okay, so here for this particular shoot, I've color coded them just for the purposes of this video. So let's filter out all the other unnecessary photos. So I've got purple for June, and I've got blue for Hyung, and I've got yellow for the occupational shot. So let's begin the culling process. I've actually already gone through the process just to save time for the video, but I'm just going to go ahead and quickly go through it. So you just go through the photos. You can look at them in different views. For this video, I will put them into the grid view here. And so let's say I like this photo. I just hit P for pick, and that flags them. So the flag represents the first pass. Okay, so these are the okay photos. Okay. Oh, and by the way, this is my own system, but this is how I do it. Feel free to do it any other way, but I find this the easiest. So we've got, so I've flagged and I've flagged. Here we go. Like I said, I've already done the flag. So gone through all the photos to the end and flagged the okay photos for the first pass. So once that's done, I just go ahead and go down here to custom filter, and I hit flagged, select flagged, or you can just go here to this filter area here and hit the flag, and it will filter down to the photos that you have flagged. So these are the okay photos. So from 421 relevant photos, we are down to 72. So a nice cull there. Let's move on to the second pass. Okay, so for this particular pass, I personally use 3 stars. I don't bother with 1 or 2 stars, but you can. Okay, but for me, I start with 3 stars, and these are the photos that will make it to the proofing gallery. These are the photos, the 3-star photos are the ones that the client will choose from, or the ones that I will choose from, in this case, the personal project, like a semi-final round. Okay, so all you have to do is go through the photos that you like. Again, you can go through the large view or the grid view. I'm going to go ahead and do large view, and all you have to do is hit the number 3. So that sets the rating to 3, and go through the photos. Number 3, number 3, number 3. Sometimes it's faster to do it in grid view. You can zoom in, pinch to zoom, zoom out. Okay, and just hit 3 and keep on going till the end. Okay, so again, we can filter down to the 3 stars by going to this little area right here and just clicking 3, and it has been culled down even further. I am down to 39 photos out of 400 something photos, 400 or so. So it's getting tighter, and these again are the better photos from the day. Now, moving on to the third pass. So this is the third time I go through all of the photos. This third pass is for the standout photos. These are the photos that either the client chooses or the ones that I choose for my blog. Okay, these are the ones after proofing. So for paid clients, I go to a proofing website and they pick out the ones that they like, and those get bumped up to 4 stars. Okay, for this video, I will not be doing 4 stars. I'll be going straight to 5 stars, which means these are the best of the best. Okay, so again, just mark those guys, those photos 5, going through them. I've already marked them before. I'm just doing it again for this video. So I'm done, gone through them, and these are the best of the best, and these will make it to the final album, or these will be one of the finals. These will be the final selections for the project. Okay, now I'm down from 421 photos. It says 424 here, but I had some extra photos, so 421 relevant photos for the project. I'm down to 8. Okay, so that's a pretty good cull. Okay, and from here, I can move on to post-processing. And that's what we're going to do right now. Okay, so post-processing, you go from the library module. We've been in the library module this whole time. We move on to the develop module. So I want to edit this particular photo. Okay, and you just click up here to the develop module, and that brings up your tools. Now, with post-processing, I keep it simple. I keep it natural. I don't do a lot of heavy-handed post-processing most of the time. I actually really aim to get the image right in camera. 80%, like 80% of the image should be done in camera. Okay, so as you can see from these images here, that pretty much happened. So these actually look good right now. We just need to tweak them a little bit to make them better and to finish them. So I'm going to go ahead and post-process this one. Let's start with this one, June. Now, with post-processing, I usually like to start with film simulations. And there are a couple of ways you can do this. You can buy film simulations, okay, from certain companies. They make them Maston Labs and VSCO. I use Visco, or VSCO in particular. I've bought several of their film packs. I've heard they've discontinued the film packs, so I don't know what the future will hold for them. But I do enjoy using their film packs. So I've got here VSCO 1. So for portraits, I like to use film pack 01. It has a lot of nice film simulations. Again, these are based on actual real world films, and I think Visco has done a really good job with that. I'll get back to and some of my favorites from Visco for portraits are Fuji 160, 400H, and the 800Z. These are Fuji film stocks that they have brought over to the presets. Okay, another way that I like to do, I like to use film presets, is the ones that Fuji provides. Another thing I love about Fuji is their colors their film simulations are awesome because they've been making film for decades and they know their stuff. So we have over here, if you go to the right side, we actually have Adobe built-in presets. These looks. They've also gone the preset route because it's a good way to do it. So they've got Adobe Color, Adobe Monochrome, which actually do look good. As you can see, I'm putting my mouse over them and they're changing the looks, and yeah, they're really nice. But I like to use the ones that Fuji provides in the camera. So we have camera matching right here. So I've got Astia, Classic Chrome, Eterna, ProNeg High, and my favorites from the Fuji provided ones, the built-in Fuji ones, are Classic Chrome and ProNeg High. These are really nice for portraits. Okay, I think. So let's do the actual post-processing. So for this particular image, let's see here. I'm going to go through the Visco ones. I'm going to do Visco. Let's do Fuji 160C with a minus sign there. That means it's a little lighter. The 160C normal is kind of heavy for me, so 160C minus. So I'm going to close the profiles over here on this side. So it's already populated there. And after I choose the profile that I want to start with, I basically just go down the list right here. I'm scrolling down. So the first one on the list is, of course, white balance. So that's a good thing to get out of the way. So let's see. I like to use the eyedropper tool. Eyedropper tool allows you to find neutral colors in the image. So Jun wasn't really wearing white. This is too far from his face. You want to get as close to the face as possible and find a neutral color. So he's wearing a white t-shirt underneath. I'm going to go ahead and click on that with the eyedropper tool under white balance. Okay, so that looks it looks alright. Yeah, looks pretty good. Yeah, so I'm going to tweak that a little bit. So click the eyedropper tool, make it a little warmer. So that is looking nice and warm. Got this trick from my friend Greg Samborski. He does the eyedropper and then pushes it to the warm side a little bit. It's really nice for the skin tones, and yeah, it's a good thing to do. So that looks pretty nice to me. Let's check this. Yeah, that is looking good. So right now, even now, I think we could already stop. But I'm gonna go ahead and go through the rest of the settings. Let's see. Let's go down. So exposure, don't really need to. I think we pretty much nailed that exposure. If we go too far over here, yeah, no, not good. So let's go back down to 0 by double clicking exposure. I think we're good here. Good in terms of exposure. Contrast 2. I don't really need the less contrast, more contrast. I don't really need to modify that anymore. Okay, highlights. The film simulation actually changed some of these settings right here, which is fine with me. It's part of the look. So I'm just going to check and see what happens. Yeah, I think it's good where it was. It's around 20. Shadows, yeah, you can go crazy with lifting the shadows. Doesn't look really great to me. Or just crushing the blacks. No, I'm not. Let's see. I think the plus 15. Let's bring it up a little bit. Plus 20 on the shadows. Let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, and with the whites, this is an important part. Now with the white slider, you want to bring, see as I'm sliding it, you see the histogram moving and the pixel data moving to the right side as I slide to the right. That brings it to the edge of the histogram, and you want to be as close to the end as possible. And that gives you a nice white level. If you go too much this way, it kind of, yeah, it looks kind of grayish. But going over here, I think that's a nice. Let's bring it close, not too close. If you go too much, it'll just blow it out. But just enough. You see the little yellow pixels down here. I think that looks good. Let's bring it back a little bit. Okay. And blacks is the same. You go to the left side, you crush it. You go to the right, you bring up the black point, kind of like the shadows. One thing you can do is hit the Alt key or the Option key, and it brings up these indicators to see if you've gone, to help you see if you've gone too far. If you go too far, it'll show you all the deepest blacks, you know, in the picture, and yeah, it's pretty bad. So let's make it just enough to show a tiny bit of that black. That means you're touching the edge of the histogram here. Okay, and for male portraits, I like to slide the clarity up just to give it a little edge. Not too much, it'll look crunchy. You know, if that's the look you're going for, it's actually not bad on this picture. But yeah, that was a look like a few years ago. Everyone was doing this. But I will stick with around plus 19. I think that's pretty good. So let's check the before, after. Before and after. I think we are looking good in this aspect. So that is great. Okay, so let's see what else we can do here. Dehaze, we don't need to do that. There's not really any haze in this. Vibrance, you don't want to go too crazy with that. That just makes it look icky. Saturation too, kind of similar. I'm going to keep it where the preset wanted it. So I see some. Okay, next let's move down. The curves, I'm going to keep it like that because the preset has also set the tone curve. So I'm going to keep that there. Not going to change that one. But you can actually, yeah, go through linear, medium, strong contrast. I'm going to keep it where it is because it looks good to me. HSL, hue, saturation, luminance. Again, the preset did all the work on this side, so I'm going to keep it there. Okay, so see, the preset really helps to get you in the ballpark. Okay, and you could actually use it as a one-click solution. But of course, you'll want to tweak the settings to get the look exactly how you want it. Okay, so sharpening, let's move it down to sharpening. I will bring it back to the default setting of 40. Okay, Lightroom used to have a default setting of 25, but they've since brought it up to 40. I think 25. Oh, yeah, you don't want to over sharpen. That looks crazy. Anyway, I'm going to keep it at 40. Okay, noise reduction. No, we were at ISO 200. So we don't need to apply any noise reduction. So I think we're good here. Going down, we don't need to touch anything else there. Transform. Let's see, level. If we change the level here. No, I think I'm good. We were pretty level. And that's it. Grain. Let's see. This preset adds a little bit of grain. I don't mind a little bit of grain to make it look filmic. Yeah, so I'm going to keep that there. Okay, so one problem that I see with this picture is the power lines back here going into June's head. And you definitely want to take those out. So we can come over here, and I'm going to do another very useful tool, the spot removal tool. So all the tools that I've been showing you here today, these are the most useful tools for me in my everyday editing. I use them. I use the same tools for portraits, for landscapes, for street photography, for products. These are super useful, and they definitely come in handy. So for this one, I am using the spot edit tool and not doing a very good job of it. This takes a lot of time. So I'm going to zoom in more to here. You can actually go to 2:1, 3:1 ratio, and I'm going to go in a little bit more, make my strokes a little bit finer. Now, I never really got into the Wacom tablets. I still use a mouse. Okay, It's doing a good job there, except for this part up here. Anyway, to make it quick, I'm going to go ahead and just skip over to a snapshot that I took earlier, where I did a better job of erasing this. So let's snap into that, and boom, there. And the lines have been removed. And this is pretty much the final image. Okay, so let's take a look again. Before and after. Before and after. Just very slight changes, nothing too crazy. Yeah, this looks pretty good to my eye. Okay, so let's move on to another image. I'm not going to go through everything, because that would take way too long. This is Hyung's photo, and I see some problems here, especially here with the glitters shining, reflecting onto her face. I'm just going to go through the history here. I've already done a practice run and took a snapshot. So here, the main issues with this particular image are the glittery spots on her face here. The exposure is also off, and so I took it down 0.35 and then went through the spot removal. Did a crappy job, and then got better and better and better, and there. So that was the spot removal job I did. And then for some reason I did the camera profile after the spot removal. So after this I went to Pro Neg High. See the difference there? This is the original Adobe Color from the raw file going to the Pro Neg High. Let's do that again. Original, yeah. So just a very slight change, just a little bit of desaturation. Yeah. So after that, so this is pretty much done in terms of spot removal. So I'm going to show you one important tool, which is the radial filter tool. So this is super useful for this is really useful for selectively editing in the frame, but it's more natural looking to me than a brush. A brush, you can go in really pixel by pixel, but that takes too long and it often looks unnatural if you're not really good at it. I'm going to show you this real quick. So all you have to do is take this radial filter tool. I want to bump up this. The problem here is the background I feel is a little too dark, so I want to bump it up and bring up that background a little bit. So I'm gonna go over here to exposure, bring that up maybe 0.39, shadows up a little bit just to show a bit more of that. Dehaze was activated, I don't know why. So the feather, it's always nice to have a high feather so that the transition's smooth. So let's click and drag, and as you can see, it's doing it to the wrong part of the image. So let's click invert, and it's now on the background. So see here. So I'm just gonna go crazy with it to show you. So that is the radial filter tool, and it's super useful for easy selective edits. So I'm gonna, the feather is pretty soft, so I'm going to, you can rotate it by hitting shift, and I want to bring it here, make that look a little bit more natural. Okay, stretch it out there, and that looks good. So there it is. It's brought up that background a little bit, and I'm happy with that. So I see some rope here. Gonna go to the clone tool, and boom. Or I might choose heal. Let's try healing for this one. Didn't make much difference. Let's choose something less obvious, because if you see two of the exact same Brock too obviously, then it's not really good. So there you go. That was pretty good. And okay, so I haven't touched the white balance yet. It's still as shot. So let's see here. I'm gonna find a neutral area here. She doesn't have. Okay, we've got neutral areas up here. Maybe white up here. Hopefully, it's a little greenish. Now this starting point is actually good, so I'm just gonna warm it up a little bit, just a tiny bit. Probably don't even need to. Let's see. Okay, so check that again. Before you hit the backslash key, before and after, before and after. Okay, and one more thing just bothering me here is this little bubble. So I'm going to take the healing tool. Boom, there it is. Okay. And one more little thing that bothers me is this little space up here. Things on the edge of the frame, they bring attention to themselves. They attract attention. So I'm just gonna crop that out. So this is the crop tool up here. So we've got the crop tool, the spot removal, red eye removal, the gradual filter, the radial filter, and the brush. So over here, we get the crop tool. I'm just gonna crop out. I'm just going to crop out this top part here because it's bothering me. So there you go. Crop that. I'm just going to slide it over to this side. And that actually looks much better to me without that little distracting element up there. So before, after. Before and after. And that is it for the two images that I've chosen so far. I might change my mind for the final image, but these are definitely looking good. So let's move on to the last image that I'll be editing for this video. This is the occupational image. Don't worry, this won't take very long. The occupational image is much simpler. So we've got this basic image here. This is the raw file. I'm going to go over here to the profiles on the right side here. And I'm going to move down. Actually, yeah. Oh, the Adobe one doesn't look. It looks pretty good too. I'm going to move on to. I'm going to move down to Acros. So that is Fuji's film simulation, the Acros film simulation, and it looks really nice. So right there. Already it looks good right off the bat. Just one click. This is the built-in simulation. So I could have shot this in JPEG and have gotten this particular image. But anyways, so I'm going to keep going. So as you notice, I brought up the exposure a little bit there, but I'm starting to blow out this area right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the radial filter again, just like I did with Hyung Shot. Exposure up around 30.30. You don't need to go too crazy. Shadows up. Oops, it needs to be inverted. So inverting and bringing it in. Again, it brings a nice, natural looking local adjustment. Okay, so I chose this particular photo because I like the milk just right there. Peak of action. Peak of action is another good thing to look out for when choosing images. So there it is, much more balanced to my eye. I like that. So again, a little bit clarity. Let's show you this one. I'll boost it up to 20. I rarely go past 20, so that is looking good. Maybe up the exposure a little bit here. Okay, and let's see if I want to. The other stuff we don't really need to bother with, I don't think. Like that. Okay, just a little bit. Bring down the highlights. See the highlights on this side right here, near the window. Just bring it down a little bit. Okay. And the histogram to histogram. Let's see, blacks. Okay, touching the left side. Whites already touching. Okay, we're good. Okay. Going down to the curve, medium contrast. Do we like medium contrast or do we like linear? I'm going to go with a little bit. Yeah, let's make that a little contrasty. I like that. Okay, sharpening is already default at 40. The rest of the stuff we don't need to touch. And again, I like to just add a little bit of film grain. Let me go to 16. Okay, so before, after. Zoom out. Before and after. We are okay. One more thing that I like to do too is this post-crop vignette over here under effects. So post-crop vignetting, if you slide it just a little bit, not too much, it'll go crazy, but it just adds a little bit of a vignette. I like that because it brings, maybe on -9, it brings the attention towards the center of the frame. Okay, so there it is. Very simple edit. Before, after, before, and after. Okay, so these are the photos that we got. These are some of the best photos that we got from the shoot that we did on Untitled, and that was definitely a lot of fun. So after the edit, all that's really left to do is to export the photos to your desired size. So from the top here, you can just choose where to put them, what location, what the file name is, what format, JPEG, PSD. Okay, I'm going to keep it on JPEG. This is the important part here. So we've got resize to fit image sizing. So if you click that one, you can resize the image to typically a smaller size for web. So we've got here the recommended size for Facebook, I believe it is 2048, and a lot of web resolution. I've seen this recommendation 2048. If you want to go full size, just unclick that. Okay, and for sharpening, here's another thing. For small size, you just sharpen for screen. For prints, depends on what kind of paper. Okay, and then of course you got a watermark if you like to watermark. I personally like to watermark, and yeah, you just hit the export button, and you're good to go. Alright, so that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that behind the scenes look into my photo shoot from start to finish. I personally learn a lot from watching other photographers, and I wanted to share this shoot with you because, well, I was going to a nice location anyway with some interesting people. And I hope you enjoyed following along, and I hope you guys learned a thing or two. And I definitely recommend that you look into a personal project of your own, no matter what level of photographer you are. A personal project will help you get motivated, it'll help you learn and practice, and it'll just help you improve your craft. So that is about it for me, guys. If you like this video, please hit the like button and maybe share the video with your friends. And if you want to see more, please do subscribe. And as some of you may know, I do love ending my videos with slideshows. So I'm going to end this one with a slideshow of my favorite images so far from the Everyday Musicians project. You can check out more about this project, more about me on my website, and from there you can check out all my social media as well. So again, this has been Roy for Roy Cruz Photo. Thanks for watching, and take care.